Hello, welcome back to Karagor Studios, Remnant Lunar Archon, Session 86. Hope you're having a lovely night and enjoying this music. The rest of the players can't hear, but this song goes crazy. It is Route 47 by Glitch City. Great. Love it. One of my favorite Pokemon song covers or remixes, and it's absolutely wild. But that's for the players to deal with later when they realize I'm still talking about it. Last time, the recap was given by Sam, so we will be figuring out who of the other four of you unlucky people will get to give the recap this time. It is. Ooh, how do you feel about giving the recap, Jack?
I can try. Last week is all a blur to me. But what I remember is I guess we're prepping for leaving the area, or in terms of like figuring out what items we wanted and whatnot. There was a lot of, I guess, planning on what our next steps are going to be. And I think there was like one bigger conversation, and that's all I remember.
Yeah, I guess that technically covers the most of it. The party... Last time we came back as John was given the opportunity to plead guilty as a deserter, as a terrible human being, or a terrible Etheria, or a terrible, horrible soldier, badman. In order, as a result, he would be dishonorably discharged, pay a hefty fine, which hefty for normal people, not as hefty for rock stars.
Oh yeah.
This was done presumably by an elf, a lord who was an elf apparently, did some pulling of strings in order to allow this. And the party then stepped outside where John got decked in the face by his old friend, Hayden Gatsby, I believe is the name. Let me pull that up. Yes, Hayden Gatsby. Got decked in the face, deservedly. The party found out that John had left Hayden Gadsby to die when they were fleeing from the orcs. Did not stay back to save him or anything, left and went zoom. Hayden apparently still blames him for that. They had an angry conversation, yada yada. That took up a good amount of time. Punched John in the face again. The party then began to finish preparing for their way out. They got a deal with Sasha that I believe she's coming back Thursday to teleport you all to Calcite. She's going, presumably she's going back to Vane, or at some point will be coming back to Vane or Vacua, wherever. But that Thursday, she will be teleporting you to Calcite to continue your journey as you look north to the witches of the forest. You've got a Ring of Protection and Glass of Comprehend Languages that you've already paid for, but are in the works by Astoria Pendragon. And I believe it was going to be that they are finished on Thursday morning, so you're going to pick those up and head out. I guess that brings us to jump right into it, as I'll transition over to here. Is there anything the party would like to do? It is currently Monday, the 26th of June, 4:17, post-schism at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. What would the party like to do for the next few days?
Did I already? Is this a new day? Where are we?
Technically, it's the same day as the day that you spoke with John's lawyer and got that figured out. But
Okay, so
we're in more of a free-form downtime for the next couple of days. So if you have things you want to do on certain days, go for it.
That's right, because we're waiting for some of our items.
Yes, you have a couple of items you want to wait for. You're all able to long rest well, whichever days you do. Is there anything anyone would like to do over the next few days before Thursday morning? I can turn off the Pokemon music and go to regular D&D music, so we don't... I mean, listening to Johto Burn Tower version 5.2 is great, but I feel like D&D music might be more appropriate.
Reasonable.
There we go.
I want to see if there's somewhere to buy armor, just like regular armor.
Yes, you are in a big city with lots of people. You can definitely buy some regular armor.
Okay.
There was the armor we talked about last time, but you hadn't quite bought. Which one were you looking for?
I'm trying to look up what I had decided on.
Is it a Brigandine?
I think so.
Which I did learn Brigandine, which, for those of you who weren't there at the end, I sent a couple of pictures in the Lunar Archon chat. The first one I don't remember is like chain. I think it's I think that's the Gambison, maybe. The lighter chainmail, basically. And the Brigandine is kind of a heavily padded armor that has metal drivets in it. Drivets? That's not the right word. Metal things in it. I did find out also that there's typically a metal plate set under the stomach and chest on the inside of that cloth as well. I learned that at the Ren Fair I went through this past week. It was a great time. Ate a turkey leg. As you do. It was a tasty turkey leg. Drank some homemade root beer. Pretty sure sauce and actual witches.
Did it make you sleepy?
No, it was just root beer. It was just tasty.
What is...
No, the turkey leg.
Oh, the turkey leg? Yeah, I was ready for a nap that afternoon, but I couldn't take one because we were still walking around and then I had to drive back.
What is the dex bonus thing on armor?
So the dex bonus is how much of a dex bonus you can add to it. So for example, the Brigandine has an AC base of 15 with a dex bonus of up to 2. So it can add 15, and then if you have a 14 dex, you can add both points from your dex bonus to bring it up to 17. Some, like leather armor, studded leather, have just yes, all dex bonus, no matter how high it is, 5, 6, whatever. But if you had such as a 20 for a plus 5 dex, and you had the Brigandine, your AC would still only go up to 17, because it's 15 plus the maximum 2 dex.
So this armor that I'm looking at here, I just shared in chat, would be useless for me because I don't have a plus 3 dex.
Yes. So because the Cuirass is the same thing, but, well, kind of the same thing as far as mechanics are concerned, but more expensive, and adds up to 1 more dex bonus, yeah, it would not be useful to you.
Okay. All right. So yes, I want to get a Brigandine.
Yep-de-do. I don't know if you're able to place that in your inventory on your own. If you're able to drag it into your inventory, you can go ahead and do so and remove the cost from your inventory. If you can't, I can add it to your inventory for you.
I can do that.
Wonderful.
Would I be able to sell my Gambison as well?
Yes, I believe last time I said that the standard price was going to be 60% of market value for any well-utilized weapons or armor. So in that case, I believe the Gambison's
6 gold piece.
Yeah. Delete that and apply it. You should be able to mark it equipped whenever you do get the Brigandine into your inventory, and it should automatically add the bonuses on your main page. If not, we can fix that.
Brigandine and...
No reason to undercut the power of non-magical armor. Sometimes it's nice just to have slightly better stuff. Brigandine is probably among the highest medium armors you can get. At this point. Yeah.
Anderson. And then.
So looking at other medium armors.
Right.
So more expensive medium armors include half plate, which is 16 base plus 2 dex bonus, but does require you to have 12 strength and gives disadvantage on stealth, but also provides a damage reduction to non-magical weapon damage equal to half your proficiency bonus. But that's if you want to spend 1,000 to have disadvantage on stealth and also not be able to wear it because you're not strong enough. Let me make sure your AC is correct. It is! Wonderful!
Yippee.
Now you have a really, like, well-armored cat now. Because you were wearing, like, light armor nothing before 14. Your AC just went up by 3. Would anyone else like to purchase things?
I don't necessarily want to purchase any more stuff at the moment that I can think of, but I do want to try and create a harness or what's it called for Mason.
Yeah, your little, like, side sack harness thing. You did buy leather
papoose.
scraps. I do recall that. They were relatively cheap. I think you also...
I didn't buy leather scraps. I bought like a needle and thread. And I was gonna use my old leather armor that I
that's
have.
right. You're cutting up the old leather armor using the tools you purchased. Okie doke. So let's see. Tool check. So you're not proficient with the tools. So in that case, make a straight dexterity check. If anyone does have proficiency with leather worker or weaver tools, you could potentially aid Thicket. If not, though, it's relatively not something that would be in any of your wheelhouse.
I have no other plans until we leave, so I can take my time with this.
That's
but
true.
Still.
You can take your time, redo things. Because you're so new, it might take some time. So if you roll really bad, you won't have it done by Thursday. But that's if you roll really bad. So go ahead and make the dex check.
Dex check.
Well, you could also give yourself the cat's grace and have the advantage.
That's true. You could do that for an hour.
True.
He spells all day long and just like me. Now me and you. Now me and you. Now me and you. Meow me and you.
Meow 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 meow. Cat's grace on a cat.
Okay, that is a level 2 spell, so mark that off. And advantage dex check. Woo!
It's not great. It takes you...
Yeah!
In order to do it well and do it the way that you want, with it being able to... I believe you said you wanted to basically like harness onto you and hold Mason on your side at your waist. Is that right?
Yeah, sure. Kind of like those fancy potion belts that people see in like art or costumes. But like, we're holding an elemental.
We're holding a small elemental. Technically tiny as far as creature sizes go. But yeah, it would take you probably a significant amount of time Tuesday and maybe into the start of Wednesday to get it exactly how you want it, having to redo it a few times, but you would be able to successfully make the harness.
Would any of Doug's, I guess, knightly skills or whatever he has, able to help, I guess, have it done before Thursday?
You do have Cunning Artisan. Yeah, I would say with your Cunning Artisan feature from your background that you would pretty reasonably be able to help Thicket tie it back down to just a Tuesday thing. Is there anything else Thicket's going to try and do over the days?
Not that I can think of.
Okie doke. Is there anything Gambit wants
Oh,
to
wait.
do? Oh,
I am going to start my lessons on teaching Mason Common. And do some research in the book I bought about elementals.
yeah. Are you looking for any particular information or just general?
Just like making sure I don't do anything that kills him.
Fair enough. Make an intelligence check.
Do I get any sort of bonus with having a book?
No, this is to see how well you understand and comprehend the book. Yeah, going over the basics, you've got a good idea. It's not a, Pokemon where pouring water on him is going to kill him or anything. No worries about that. He doesn't take water damage. You do find out that apparently, yes, that will do that to fire elementals, but earth elementals are fine. So you find generally earth elementals eat rocks, dense nutrients through different materials. Not necessarily the more rare, but typically the more hard or dense a stone is, the better. So while it's not as common, diamonds are a special treat for them and other hard gemstones. But, they can subsist off of basic, easy-to-achieve rocks like granite, limestone, that sort of stuff. They don't need to eat the fancy things, of course. They do eat that. They need to eat. They don't necessarily have to eat all the time. They can survive without eating for some time, but it is better for them to eat regularly. And as they do so, it will cause them to grow larger and larger as they process certain minerals into their body. You do find out that, yes, earth elementals do gain regular sight as they gain age, but they begin with just tremor sense.
Yes.
You're not going to kill him unless you try to, effectively. Elementals in general, and especially earth elementals, are very hardy. They can survive for long periods with no kind of sustenance.
This one in particular is rather hard.
He's a pretty good rock. It's kind of a slate color. Moss growing on him. It doesn't say anything about earth elementals liking or disliking moss.
Nice.
Didn't he say it was rather cozy, though?
He did. He likes it.
Do I need to roll anything for teaching him common?
That's something that will take a while regardless of individual roles.
Okay.
And it's to the point where I may roll some things in the background, but it'll be like a week-by-week thing, not a day-by-day.
Okay.
Gambit, are you going to do anything in the city before you head out?
I was looking for, I believe, a couple of settings ago, magic ammo.
Magic ammunition. So yes, your favorite shopkeeper does have magic ammunition in particular, and I'll go ahead and copy and paste just them. She has functionally as much as you need. I don't know how much you want to spend, so I may cap it at a certain point, but she does have +1 arrows and bullets. Both are 25 gold pieces per arrow or bullet, or 200 for 10. The bonuses do stack on top of your revolver's regular bonus.
I can't shoot arrows out of my...
This is true, but bullets work. And, I think you have a bow, and if someone else wants to buy, like, if Doug wants to get +1 ammo for his bow, then you're gonna throw it on there.
Oh, yeah.
Reminder for the future, though, you do still have a sling and 11 +1 sling bullets. Just so you remember to use those eventually.
I would like to get 210.
210? 210
10.
or 2 10s?
No, just 200 of them were 10. No. I can't. I'm sorry. It has been a long day. It's been a long past 3 days.
Okay.
I want 10 bullets for 200.
There you go. We got there.
That was way too difficult than it should have been.
Let's see. Let me find +1. I narrow it down to ammunition +1. Can I not change sets? This works. Bolts, da 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 da. There are my +1 bullets. Why is there not a +1 bullet thing? Why not? Yeah, steel. +1 arrow. Change it to just bullet +1. Okay, bullet +1. Splendid bullet. You said you wanted to pay 200 gold to buy 10 of them. Are you going to go ahead and remove that from your inventory yourself, or shall I?
I can do it. I can do basic math.
Mind you, you may not even have to, because you can type the number in the modifier window down to the bottom left, and then drag that number onto the gold piece box to remove it.
So I can just do minus 200.
Yep, and then just drag that onto the gold piece value.
Ah, so fancy.
There you go. I've gone ahead and added those to your inventory. The thing we're using to keep track of ammunition before is a little scuffed because of updates, so hopefully we'll get that working soon. But we can keep track of it through your inventory for now, whenever you choose to use the +1 bullets of whatever kind.
Okay.
Anything else Gambit would like to look for?
Is there anything like a super fancy like lockpick or anything that would be beneficial for like a rogue? Being a
If you're looking for magical
general
lockpicks, it does not seem that Astoria has any.
Okay.
I don't know what lockpicks Ivy might actually have that are fancy. Yeah, I don't know if there are any.
That's fine.
We'll say no for the time being. As long as you still have your lockpicks. Your lockpicking kit or whatever it's called. Don't remember what they call it now. What is it called? Thieves' tools? That's it.
Yeah.
Do you have thieves' tools?
I do.
Good. I don't see any thieves' tools.
I'm staring at it. It's right next to my volcanic veil.
Ah, there you go. You're right. You're right. I'm wrong. Okie doke. You have the tools of thieves. Is there anything Garan would like to do?
No, I'm waiting for. I feel like everything's good. It's like he's chomping at the bit to go hunt these hags.
Hey, nothing wrong with a couple of days off for Garan to go and maybe sit in a show at a small tavern or something. Enjoy someone else's playing for once.
You know, that's an interesting point.
There's also time that, it's not just your character sitting around, but if you wanted to have them go chill, take a walk in a park, mental health days for your adventures. That's available too. Doug, is Doug planning to do anything in particular?
Since Doug is not very perceptive, are there like goggles potentially of some sort, just so, let's say, I guess things to make the invisible visible to Doug?
there's the Scroll of See Invisibility. There's a spell that does it. I'm
Love it.
not sure that there are any goggles. There may be a magic item that allows you to see invisible creatures, but it's not something I'm currently aware of.
Because I know that it was alluded to that these witches,
Oh.
if there was anything that would allow, I guess, give Doug like a level.
Give Doug a what? You're cutting out a bit.
Oh, can you hear me? Hello.
Oh,
There
there
he
you
is.
go. That's much better.
Much better.
So yeah, I just put the phone up to my face. But yeah, so if there's anything, because like I know at one point there was mentionings about these witches are very hard to find / elusive. So if there's anything to potentially give Doug an advantage when it comes to finding or when it comes to like, I guess, searching.
Okay. I can see I'm smelling what you're putting down. So there is an item called a Lantern of Revealing that does have the capability to reveal invisible creatures. While lit, this hooded lantern burns for 6 hours on 1 pint of oil, shedding bright light in a 30-foot radius, dim light for an additional 30 feet. Invisible creatures and objects are visible as long as they are in the lantern's bright light. You can use an action to lower the hood, reducing the light to dim light in a 5-foot radius. That is a magic item that would probably run you, especially on a rush order, if you were to try and get it made, because it's not something currently in Astoria's set. It would probably take you 200 gold before rush job. Probably 250 gold to get it made before you leave.
Okay, and is this lantern like able to be, I guess, positioned on his person somehow without him having to hold it?
Yeah, so you can hook a lantern to your belt potentially. I think that's reasonable. It does have a higher chance of something going wrong, you dropping it, lighting a fire, etc. Yeah, there are a couple other items, but they're far more expensive, such as something called a Robe of Eyes, which is a much more expensive item for sure.
Mm.
Looks like Lantern of Revealing is the main thing that does that. But you could potentially, I think, especially with it being a lantern, you could tie it onto your belt or onto your pack or something. There is a chance as you move around that it could get snuffed out or dropped, even potentially broken, as magic items are not immune to damage, they just are resistant to it. You could definitely do that. Or if you like, you could hold it one-handed and hold a weapon in your other. Is that something you'd like to buy? Oh no, he's dead.
Womp.
I wonder if Thicket can learn see invisibility.
Hello.
Oh, there he is again. Hello.
But I said yes, and then, are there any potential like bombs or like AOE type things that he could potentially throw?
Now we're getting into some fun stuff. Let me see what I have for you.
But yeah, I was just thinking, like, Doug, he can't really run that fast. He also is very limited when it comes to the ability to attack. I mean, he does have the bow and arrows, but like again, if there's like obstacles in the way.
So you can grab fire dust. So raw fire dust, the uncut crimson gemstones that are roughly 70 gold apiece. You can throw the uncut gemstone as an action to a point within 30 feet of you, causing it to explode in a flash of heat and light. Potentially, you could do that as one of your weapon attacks. All creatures within 10 feet of that point must make a DC 12 dexterity saving throw, taking 2d6 fire damage and being blinded until the end of their next turn on a failed save, or half as much damage and not being blinded on a successful one. I can find...
You said... You said I can only throw that 30 feet for a 10-foot radius?
Yes. Let's see.
That works.
You could also get gunpowder. They come in blasting powder, horns, and kegs. Let's see. So you could get a gunpowder horn that does 3d6 fire damage if you light it. But that would be wherever you happen to light it, so potentially not far. Let's see, blasting powder. Blasting powder, similar type of thing, 3d6. I would say you could... We'll say you could buy regular gunpowder bombs, small flash powder bombs, that have a fuse that you could light and then throw, so you would have to have a hand free to use some kind of lighting mechanism or a spell to do so. But you'd be able to throw it. It's similar. It'd be a similar thing. It's a 30-foot radius, probably a 30, maybe longer, but you would have disadvantage and potentially miss the area by a square or two, depending on how low you roll. To have them make, again, a DC 12 dex save for 3d6 fire damage.
Okay. Are there potentially, like, sonic bombs, or, like, I guess, like EMPs, to where if it makes them mute or, can't cast magic?
Probably not. That sounds a lot more down the lane of casting spells like the silent spell, rather than a bomb. You can get scrolls.
What about that one?
Sorry?
What about that metal? What about that sword or whatever that
the dimeridium?
Yeah, what about a dimeridium bomb?
So, effectively... Are you saying like taking dimeridium, melting it down, or breaking it into pieces to make a shrapnel bomb? I would say that would definitely impose disadvantage on the concentration saving throw of anyone caught in the radius.
Nice.
If you wanted to expend materials to make dimeridium shrapnel bombs.
Nice.
I do think most of your dimeridium is still with Maverick.
Yeah, I think I'll stick with the first one you mentioned of the potential blinding and like the 10-foot radius.
Fire dust?
Yeah.
You would eventually be able to, and I'll hand wave it for now of the search for it. There's a lot less dust than other things. Relatively hard to find, but you would eventually find a salesman that does have uncut fire dust. The red gemstones. How many uses of fire dust would you like to buy?
You said it was 70 each?
Yes.
Uh,
I'm also debating updating it from 2d6 fire damage to 3d6, especially because it is more expensive than a powder horn. I'll leave it at 2d6 for now.
Let's see, 70, 140, 280. I think 4 would be okay.
Okie doke. Can you go ahead and remove the 280 from your inventory, and I will throw and identify the fire dust, the uncut crimson gemstone, in your inventory and give you 4 of them.
And then I think that is it for Doug.
Okie doke.
Just to add a little like versatility.
Yeah. John, anything you would like to do?
No. Also, survive the tornado.
Aw.
Woo!
I don't know if there was one, but
You got the warning and you took the right precautions. Okie doke. As the couple of days go by, you relax, you eat delicious food. Potentially it coming to mind that you will soon be on the trail eating rations or eating the not delicious but serviceable create food and water that Thicket is very good at, but unfortunately it does have a limited flavor, as specified by the spell, if I recall correctly. Is that right?
that sounds right.
Create food and water. Bland but nourishing. Yeah, so potentially moving into a less pleasurable meal set very soon for however long it takes. Taking the time to enjoy the food she cooks, whether it be a roast on one night, flatbreads, desserts, whatever else. Most definitely Izu taking advantage as well, having his fill. The days come and go as we move forward to Thursday, the 29th of June. As we are moving now into a new moon. The moon is not to be seen in the evenings, at least for the next day or two. We are about to get to the end of June and into July. The pure middle of summer will be coming up. Though I guess technically you've already passed by the pure middle of summer because you've had the solstice. But, more summer to be seen. The morning arrives, 8 p.m. as you all awaken, knowing that this will be the last day in Vacuo for you all for some amount of time.
So we got all our stuff. I have a ring now. Did my AC and my saves go up?
We can go ahead and cover those over. Yep, so first off, the Ring of Protection. That'll be good. And you do have the attunement slots for it, yes?
Yep. I have no attunements. I don't think anything I have is attunements. Let me double check.
You have Pearl of Power and technically the Feather of Decim, but it doesn't have to be attuned because you are a Warlock of Decim. So you just the Pearl of Power. I've gone ahead and thrown the Ring of Protection into your inventory. In the same vein, Thicket, I will go ahead and give you the delicious glasses of comprehending languages.
Yippee!
Glasses of comprehend. We'll delete those off of my quick list, my reference page.
All right.
You both... Yes?
I clicked the little thingy, the little blue dot for Ring of Protection, but my stuff did not change.
Yeah, I will go ahead and add those. Let's see, for armor, it's going to be a miscellaneous bonus of 1. What's the best way to do the saves? Let's go ahead and just for now do a +1 to saves in your special defenses section there. And I will also add, just as an effect, to you SAV. I think it should be SAVE and not just SAV. Actually, it's SAV1. I'll go ahead and throw a save at you just to make sure. Thicket, I'm going to borrow your inventory a little bit. Where's something you have that makes it make a save? That is not necessary. Save. Hold person.
Hold person.
You should have a +3 before this, so whenever you roll that, around you should be able to reflect the bonus. It gave the +3. It did not give the +1. Let me go ahead and change that to SAVE. the syntax, because I must have made a syntax error. I haven't written a syntax thing in a while for this. There you go. Enjoy being lightning lured by yourself.
Lightning lured.
That was a +1. Lightning lure was
It's normally 0.
normally a 0. All right, there you go. You
Right.
have that, and as long as you don't delete that effect off of you, you should have the bonus to your saves.
Delightful.
All right. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Are there any other precautions you would like to do before going to meet Lady Sasha Hellion?
Sure. Double check. Does she randomly make any magic armor that might be better than what I have,
No.
or bracers of defense, or
No.
anything else? Okay.
She did not make any of those things. Sorry, fam.
Okay. You know,
She's
The
been
only
busy
thing I-
the last few days.
Okay. Well, you know what? She's welcome for the business.
The only thing I can think of to prepare is to level up again.
Unfortunately, that's not on the table.
Dang it. Figure it out.
Unless you
Hey,
like
we're gonna be. Oh no, wait, we're getting teleported. We're not traveling. What am I thinking?
being teleported over halfway to where you need to go.
We're cheating. It's okay.
It happens.
It's okay. You know what? That town is actually a little far from that. I've been looking at that. That's a few hexes. That's like.
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least 5 days travel from Calcite to the woods.
Yeah, so that's we might even level up from those encounters on the way. You know, he could roll.
Who knows? Okie doke. If you'd like, do you want to say anything in particular to Parents John, or just love ya, bye, see ya soon?
Love ya. Bye. Hopefully see you soon.
I just wasn't sure if you wanted to follow it up with more roleplay.
No. Kiss his mom goodbye. I'll
Give you a most wonderful hug. Your dad will give you a hug and shake your hand, giving you a nod. There's nothing the party would like to do. I'll go ahead and narrate as you return to the castle around noontime. I believe was when you wanted to move over to Calcite, the time you planned to meet with her. You head through the front, introducing yourselves to the guards who would be able to mark your appointment, bringing you inside. Preparing everything, you are brought to the teleportation chamber, where you do see Sasha, both her and Simeon, waiting for you. All ready to go?
Yep. I think so.
Right. The spell should work just fine. I won't be going with you. On the off chance it doesn't, which is incredibly unlikely, I hope you don't go into the sky. Sometimes teleportation can be finicky. But you should go to your destination. If not, you may appear in a random space within
Hey, we have
a fairly
Featherfall,
large
right?
distance.
Do you have a
I
spell with
have
Featherfall?
wings of flying, so which I can equip both my wings of flying and the volcanic veil, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the wings are a cloak. You can't have two cloaks, but you can have a cloak and an armor. It should be just fine. No worries. Right. As she will gently begin to, relatively fast, she doesn't take it slowly, but she will move around the circle as you all stand in it, as she sweeps a large circle around you, Izu temporarily reappearing on Gambit's hat, keeping an eye on everything, as you feel just barely, perhaps a claw piercing through your hat just a little bit, touching the side of your head, Gambit, as he holds on. As she finishes sweeping around, the dust that gets picked up begins to whirl around you in an incredible fashion, fully covering your vision as it moves up against you. I need to actually roll to see what happens. Okay. The odds were not in favor of something going wrong, unfortunately. As the dust settles around you, shifting out of the way. You find yourself standing... Let's see, where exactly would you be standing? You would be standing... We'll say about there. You are standing in the front courtyard in front of this rather large mansion. These well-designed walls around it, they do seem to be rather well-made. The gate is open to the front of this mansion. The large grounds around you stretching out in a few different ways, having different paths, some different flowers and preparations. You do see a cleared area that, let's see, at this point, there would be, yes, at this point, you do see a couple of people, perhaps one couple, but then a few just others, families and such, eating, having a small picnic in the open grounds. Stretching in front of you goes slightly down this hill, as you see behind you, behind the mansion, stretches up this fairly sizable mountain, down which comes a beautiful river cascading down the edge that flows just to the side of the mansion before continuing down into the rest of the town. As you see, not far below on the hill, the town stretching out along both sides of the river, different relatively safe, say relatively because sometimes things shake, wooden bridges and such going across the river at different points, connecting the two sides. A reasonably well-designed, albeit somewhat small, stone wall flanking the town on each side of the river. But most interestingly, you see, in addition to all the wooden buildings on each side of the river and farmland stretching out beyond the walls, small farmhouses and things in the distance, but it appears most people sleep within the village itself, or the town itself. Along the river over the next mile or so of the town, mile or a bit more of the town, I'm not sure exactly how long it would be compared to wide, you see there are quite a few buildings floating on the water, connected by elements of cords and small bridges that shift in the slight waves and ebbs and flows of the river, connecting these various buildings to the shore. But some of these, you even see a tall two-story building that's fairly large, floating in the center of the stream, bound on each side to the shoreway, keeping it in place. You see some people relaxed, an occasional guard walking along the edge of the town that you can spot, as you move from a bustling city to a relatively quiet and serene river village. I think maybe we go ahead and take a 5-8 minute break there before continuing on, as you have now arrived in Calcite.
Sounds good.
Okay, I figure if we're going to take a break, now's the right spot to do it as you move places. Love Calcite. I had fun writing it this week.
Nice, yeah.
I had the thought, why not have some of the town be on the water? The world opened up.
So you made Venice.
Yeah. You're right, I made medieval Venice. Oh,
Fun fact: Venice is literally built on top of the water. Like they took logs and drove them into the mud and built like platforms on top of them. Like
wild.
There literally wasn't decent soil beneath.
Crazy.
It was ingenious for the time.
Meanwhile, they just float. Whatever flotation system they're using is holding the buildings up. Just using cords like docks at a lake house. I'm gonna go reach my water. I will be back.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I was on an 8 losing streak, and now I'm in 9 losing streak with 7 health. And I've just been casually playing. It's so funny how it is. It's like when it's like, oh, I'm just doing this to keep my hands busy, and then you're like, whoa, I'm winning. Uh-oh.
Meow, meow.
That's the game. First place. Whoopsies.
Is he gonna make something like that for the Star Wars?
Probably, when that time comes.
Well, I'm gonna be in it.
That was the plan. Save your game. $20. It's time for bed. You got to brush your teeth. I guess you didn't want mommy to make cookies tomorrow, huh?
Mm-mm.
Or you just didn't want to do dishes.
Kind of.
Slacker. Womp, 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 womp. All right, good night, Cheyenne. Sleep well, sweet dreams. Sure. I'm gonna put away a cup, go hug my daughter. Be right back.
Okay. Give the daughter a hug. But I'm going to go.
One hug. One hug.
One hug. Two hugs. Three hugs.
Okay, so
Yes.
lately, so my kid has been watching Number Blocks a lot
Mm-hmm.
lately, and the last couple days he has been counting things. The kid is not even 2, but he's been counting up to 5. I don't know if it's just pattern recognition or if he's actually counting things, but
Honestly, just take it.
yeah, it's a win either way.
You know. Same kind of thing with one of my nieces. They're 2.5 now, and she's spelling short words. And I don't know if she fully understands the spelling or if she's just repeating the word and then the letters that they said after it.
You know, until like 4th grade, you're just doing it by memorization
That's fair.
because you don't understand the rules yet.
Spelling?
Yeah,
No.
because English spelling is not
Yes.
intuitive at all.
No, that's wrong. Actually, English spelling is intuitive. You just have to know the rules of 8 different languages. So,
And know which
so-
word is part of which language.
yeah, so there are ways to identify which word
English
belongs to which
isn't-
rule. But so it's just you have to understand that there are 8 different rules that you need to be following, sets of rules that you need to be following, and how to identify which word is in that rule. And I know this because I am dyslexic and I had to be explicitly taught to. So actually, you can spell English phonetically. You just have to know
You have
to
to know
identify it.
which phonetics you're using.
English
Yes.
isn't a language. It's 5 languages, one on top of each other in a
Yeah.
trench coat.
You know
Yep.
what's funny? You know the hilarious thing? Phonics is not spelled phonetically.
Yeah.
It is spelled phonetically according to Greek rules.
We need to
Yeah,
Greek rules,
well.
yes.
It's not spelled phonetically according to the layman English rules.
Well, okay.
Yes, because it's only spelled phonetically according to one of the 7 rule sets, you see.
Right, that English uses. So English is intuitive once
As
you
long as
are
it's-
able to.
as long as you master the unintuitive part, everything else just comes easy.
You can. Well, the part that it actually can become intuitive, it becomes relatively easy once you're able to split all of the rules into their separate categories. It's pretty easy to figure out, like, oh, this word has a PH in it, so it's probably Greek. Or this word has a CH in it, but it's hard instead of a soft CH, then that means it's Greek. But if it's a a soft CH, then it's Germanic. Yeah.
I believe you. I'm not going to verify it, but I do believe you.
Yes. And the way that spelling is taught in schools is by rote memorization. And there are ways to teach English starting out phonetically. It's actually very bad. It's not bad. It's kids without dyslexia can manage being taught rote memorization instead of phonetically. However, it's kind of like one of those things where like both handicapped people and non-handicapped people were benefited by getting wheelchair ramps. Kids with dyslexia benefit from being taught phonetically, and kids without dyslexia also benefit from being taught phonetically. There's actually been this huge movement that's happened in school reform, and I know this because my mom is a part of it. She's actually been hired as a special in a local private school. She is a diagnostic. She comes in, she runs diagnostics, and then she identifies at-risk kids and moves them into. Anyway, you summoned one of my special interests. Can't you tell?
Well, as a child who learned it via straight up memorization, I am in a spelling bee every single day, so I get
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I just read a lot.
Yeah.
Stuck.
Oh, my wife, literally, she can't spell to save her life. Partially because she's dyslexic, but yeah, she asks me to spell things all the time. I'm like, okay, be glad I'm good at spelling. She heard that.
Fun fact, in D&D, you can die from teleporting.
Yes.
Because if you roll low on the teleport table, it deals damage, and then you roll again on the teleport table, which has a potential to do the same thing again, and can just kill you if it hits enough times.
Oh, I thought you meant damage as in, like, the Minecraft, oh, I teleported into a block or something.
No, I mean, kind of. It's just that it doesn't happen all the time. It just has a chance to happen whenever you teleport. Like, if you have perfect purling on from some mod, where you don't take damage sometimes, unless you try to teleport into a space that has, like, a block above it, and then you take some damage and are shoved out of the block. Yeah, that's how I describe it. Same thing goes for, like, Dimension Door. You teleport into something by going a certain direction, a certain distance. You take damage and then get shunted out to the nearest space. Because you accidentally teleported into an already existent structure. You no-clipped, and the world doesn't like that.
Sorry. I just love how, like, it's rare, but you can use, like, various, like, gamer or other terminologies outside of their normal scope, and it can still work. It makes me laugh every time.
I don't remember what I was literally watching. I might have already mentioned this before, but I'm gonna say it again. A Pokemon YouTuber I like, he actually played with, I think it was either D&D Beyond or Wizards YouTube channel. One of the campaigns they had someone do. He played with some of their YouTubers on it, including like Nate Wants to Battle and I can't remember her name. A girl that showed up on Critical Role a few times, but he played with them. And literally, when one of the other people who also played Pokemon, it was either then or it was during him playing Baldur's Gate 3, but someone else was wondering how great Weapon Master worked, and he literally, because they both knew Pokemon, he just said, it's just hustle. It's how hustle and the ability hustle in Pokemon works. You're less accurate, but you do more damage. And the guy got it immediately, because it's a perfect 1-to-1. I mean, not perfect, because the percentage isn't the same, but like, yeah, it works.
It's an intuitive 1-to-1.
Yeah, it works. It makes sense.
Or intuitive comparison.
Meanwhile, Leech Seed doesn't exist in D&D because it would be broken. Is everyone back? I've heard everyone except for Maury and Jack. How y'all doing?
Hola.
Okay, cool. ¿Cómo estás?
Have you seen people's offerandas that they've been making for their pets?
What's an offeranda?
For Dia de Muertos?
No, I have not.
It's like the threshold from. Have you ever seen Coco?
Yes. I know what
Okay.
Dias des Muertos is. I don't know what the...
Yeah.
The
So
thing.
on October 28th, there's one for pets.
Interesting.
So people have been making it. It makes me really, really sad.
They're dead pets?
Mm-hmm.
That's rough. But I guess it makes sense.
It's really sweet. And I could see how it would be very comforting to grieve if you don't believe, to help with grief if you don't believe in heaven. But
yeah, I am of the belief that animals either... There's an argument to be made that they have partial souls. I don't think they have full souls comparable to that of humans. Hence, they don't go to heaven. Sorry, I don't think all dogs go to heaven. Some people do. I don't.
Horrible movie, by the way.
Terrible movie.
Traumatizing.
I don't hold me to this because it was very minor when I remembered reading it, but I'm pretty sure there's somewhere where it talks about animals having a spirit but not soul, and those are different things.
They're different things.
Yeah.
That's in the Bible, like in the Bible, like
and
there's like
also the term spirit in the Bible, depending on which part of the Bible depends on which will determine which language we're talking about and which part of the definition. Because there's a word for spirit in the New Testament that does not stop at soul, but also includes definitions such as breath or will.
Yeah.
Well,
in the Old Testament,
the Greek word for spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
in the
it
Old
also
Testament,
it's wind.
In the Old Testament, if love the Lord your God with all your heart, with your mind, body, and soul. Soul is literally throat. It literally translates to throat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Jack?
Well, I think things translate differently because they're the languages use different allegories for different they have different idioms and allegories.
Which we have vibe is short for a vibration, but we use it to talk about emotional feelings that someone gives off. Which comes from the 80s, and you could find the whole etymology for why the word vibe is used, but that's a fun conversation. The etymology of idioms is super neat. I could have gone into linguistics, but I didn't.
Linguistics are amazing.
It's
especially linguistics that evolved.
There's I think it's called Heaven's Vault, or maybe something else like that. I know there's heavens in it. It's a literally video game about linguistics, where throughout the entire game you're learning how to decipher a forgotten language by translating bits and pieces of it, and as you go, you'll find more bits and pieces that you compare to previous things. So you could just get something completely wrong in the first part and think you're right, until later you get some clear clue or piece of information that shows you what you did wrong, and you can go back and relearn different stuff and figure out what the actual meaning behind some of the stuff you translated was.
I haven't heard of that game, but I have heard the one where you're sent to negotiate with aliens.
Yeah, I heard about that one too. There's also a movie.
It's like a linguistics horror. Oh, Arrival? I love Arrival.
I need to see it. It sounds
Have you seen
crazy.
that one?
I haven't seen it, but I want to. It sounds crazy, and I know there's a twist at the end, but I don't know what the twist is.
Yeah. If you're interested in linguistics, you need to watch Arrival.
Linguistics alien horror movie. Crazy.
It's not a horror movie at all.
At least not at first.
No, not even.
Okay, fair enough. Okay,
in my opinion.
Any movie can be scary if you try hard enough.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean...
Including Clifford the Big Red Dog. All you have to do is have him turn on the humans and boom, you've got a horror movie. It doesn't take much effort. So Jack, are you around? You are muted currently, so it might be a mute remute thing. But yes, I did
Yep.
just share the. Oh, cool! I did share the
Yay!
Steam for Heaven's Vault. That is what it's called. It's super neat. I want to
thank
buy
you.
it. It's cool.
And that seems really cool.
But anywho, back to a different universe that doesn't have translation languages, unless I decide that's going to be a fun puzzle later. Now that I'm thinking about it. But that's not important right now. What's important is that you have arrived as the cool air from the stream and coming down from the mountain relaxes you. As I guess I should check the weather actually and see what kind of day it is. Okay, never mind. It's not cool air. It is really hot. It's really hot
Fun.
today.
And we're on the water, so it's humid too.
Yup. And it's so hot that if you travel for a long time, you're gonna have to start making saves to not gain exhaustion.
Again?
Yep. Lots of things can give you exhaustion, including heat. Don't want to get heat stroke. Fantasy heat stroke. Also known as regular heat stroke.
Regular heat stroke. Hilarious.
What would you guys like to do?
Is there a map somewhere, like where we're at? Are we in Calcite?
You are in
He has
Calcite
not once
now.
given us a town map. I will tell you
I
this.
do not have a town map because I haven't taken the time to make one. Because I always worry that I'm going to not include a building that I should have, and then not have an answer. I mean, I could just populate it with a bunch of random buildings or things that look close enough, and then populate it as we go through. So maybe I will, but I'll do that for a place that I think you're going to spend more time in, such as Nace or Coquinia. If you'd like, maybe I can make a map at some point. I'm not very good with town maps, but, you know, I do have that Incarnate subscription, so maybe I'll give it a shot. But at least for the moment, you are at the pretty close toward the mouth of the river, or at least where it comes down from the mountain, in front of a fairly sizable mansion with some side buildings and large open area out front, a small set of walls that separate it from the path down into the town. The town itself, you see one larger building, 2 stories wider than most of the other buildings in town. A little bit of a kind of a longhouse standing next to it that is floating on the water. You see a few other buildings spread about. You do see further down the river, and actually at different points along the river, are various people in boats. Some small enough to go underneath some of the bridges moving up and down the town. But there are also what seems to be a larger set of river boats at the opposite end of the river. There's also a
Yes.
Another fairly wide building that is on the ground. It is not floating on the water, but a fairly wide building with a different style of roof. Looks much older. Looks more similar to that of Mistral, the continent to the, well, I guess east or west. It's on the other side of the world from here. It's got a roof structure that is more similar to that, which in our world is more reminiscent of a Japanese style roof. Perhaps Chinese, but probably more Japanese style roof way you connect it with. An older Japanese temple style roof, I should say. People do look over as you appear in front of the town, but after they look and watch you for a few moments, they return to their own business.
Okay, so teleporting isn't that weird. I was concerned that we should have done this at like 2 a.m. to not weird people out.
I guess, yeah, how far away was it enough to time zones?
Not far enough for a time zone
We got
shift.
Oh, okay.
jet lag.
Actually, I don't know what the difference in time zones are going to be, especially on a world like this that I think is actually based on the continent styling from Rooster Teeth. I'm pretty sure the world of Remnant is smaller than our world by a significant margin, so I don't know.
Okay.
But it's fantasy world, so I'm not going to worry
Is it
about...
round?
It is round.
Okay.
It is a globe.
Time zones weren't even a thing until we had high-speed travel, so...
Yeah. Which technically is what you did.
Which teleportation is the highest
But it's
form of speed
high-end
travel.
high speed.
Yeah, but it's high-end and high speed, but not high availability.
Yep.
That was the other key factor.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So what would you like to do?
Well,
Do we need to find a certain person, or are we just looking for hags?
to find Lars Silverman, captain of the guard. He's the fella that Sadai.
Okay. Should we ask for directions to find the guard shack or wherever they are?
You could.
I was asking
Alright.
Garand.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said, Mike, like, could we do that, Micah? And I was like, yeah, I mean...
I said, should we? Kind of asking Garand.
It's fine. I heard it the same way, Micah. It's all good. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've never been here, so I know that one thing that is important is we should stop by the flower shop. So, which, if I remember correctly, in fact, you know, the Greenborough Inn, right? There's the Celine, right? It's like her inn, but also she's a flower girl. Oh, let's go to the Greenborough Inn. Let's get started there.
Sounds like a plan.
I believe it was said that we can ask her where the flower shop is.
No, she loves flowers. She owns also the flower shop. It's Greenborough. It's like it's like the same thing, I think.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
I suppose, yes.
How did Gambit and Doug feel about the change of location? The air smells
Gambit wants to try to catch fish.
Gambit
in the river.
fish.
Surprise!
Surprise indeed. I mean, I guess we should have assumed that, considering he grew up on an island, but
the water.
A city that is basically spans the entirety of a gap between two sides of the ocean. Like it occupies a land bridge. So where you going? You're going to look for the Greenborough Inn. Where is that?
All right. We were teleported into the city, right?
Yep.
We actually are there.
Mhm.
We it didn't fail, so
Did not fail.
What time of day is it again?
It is just afternoon. I like
yes. Hello, random passerby. Hello.
Hey.
I'll start hollering.
Yeah. What can I help you with?
Right. Hello. Yes. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Now, we are looking for the Greenborough Inn to see Miss Celine and to handle some business in town.
Yeah. Celine's the halfling says as he looks down toward the rest of the town. It's you see that big building with the longhouse directly on the water. It's over there. It's that building. Should actually be pretty busy. It's getting about lunchtime.
Oh, delightful. Well, then yes, thank you so much, kind citizen. We are the messengers, and we look forward to helping your town in some way. Hopefully more, directly than indirectly, but you never know.
Okay. Whatever that means. Sure. Appreciate the help. I think they needed some help chopping down some of the wood and bringing it into town. We wanted to get some new buildings up, so if that's the kind of work you're talking about.
Sure. Sure. I don't know. I know a song about raising a barn.
Love to hear it. But I'm a little busy right now. Maybe another time.
Yeah, but you know what? Come by later. The Greenborough Inn. I'd be happy to perform that for you. Yep.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. Let's see. We'll head off to wherever he's going, somewhere in the town. You'd be able to make your way down through the town. Fairly busy, fairly quiet, especially during... those are two contradicting statements.
Well, if the town is like a monk town almost, where it's like nobody really talks very much, and like then they could
it's
be.
a lot more of the vibe of a less musical and loud town from Beauty and the Beast, the provincial town.
Okay.
A lot more familial, but not quite as loud, and people aren't singing about their desire to marry women who are the prettiest and have no other reasons for that decision, or talking about the latest books they've read. Well, some people might be doing that, but that's not nearly as loud as it is in Beauty and the Beast. But making your way down, you would make your way to the 2-story high building on the water, stepping over what feels slightly rickety as it kind of shifts underneath you bridge, but taking a minute to gather yourself as you make your way across, seeing even some townspeople just walk right past you, seemingly extremely used to this sort of thing, as they pass over into or out of the Greenborough Inn that you do see. It is painted. Simply over the front door is just Greenborough. Entering in, you see the fairly bustling internal side of this place. You smell fish being cooked. A couple of younger waitresses, and a waiter, a variety of races tend the tables. A variety of different people spread all around: dwarves, elves, humans, and like. Your more common races. Occasionally you'll see a more uncommon one, such as a dragonborn, or even a half-orc, eating at the different tables. A rather jovial feeling inside of the building. You don't immediately see a stage Garand. Off toward the bar, helping direct some of the waiters and waitresses, you would see a fairly well-dressed, simple but effective. Well-dressed sounds fancy. Wearing well-made and clearly a little more official-looking outfit, of a green and brown dress with a brown apron over the front and a small, not medallion, a pin of a leaf on her shirt collar. A halfling woman, her hair tied back into a bun as she directs some of the other people to move around, make sure everything is going smoothly in the building, in the inn and restaurant.
Nice. All right, well, you lads ready? Hello, sorry to interrupt. We'd like to get a room, but if you need to feed us first, we'll take a meal.
Roll a persuasion check.
Sure. I will definitely be dropping the hero point on this one because, new town, got to start off on the best foot forward, right? You got to love that 4. What's up? Persuasion. Oh, that was almost nat 20. All right.
As you say this rather loudly over the bustle, the room kind of quiets down as everyone begins to look over at you all. And the woman speaks up. Aye, we can do that. What's your lot? You're rather new here.
Right, you are. You've got a keen eye. We've talked with the Lord Sadai, and we have plans to do something north in the woods. But in the meantime, we'd love to, know the town a little bit and maybe inquire to Miss Celine as whether or not we might be able to procure a local favorite flora for Thicket. As you can see him, he is a mighty cat of great power and impressiveness. And we would also enjoy speaking
with... Is that
with...
really a cot? One of the men off to the side say. Was that just like one of the magic illusions?
Hi, I'm Thicket.
That doesn't really answer my question. Nice to meet you, though. You actually a cat?
Yeah.
Rocky. Well, carry on then.
Couldn't pin down the accent till just then.
Listen, somebody's got to say crikey sometime in the campaign, right?
It's been vaguely Australian.
Occasionally.
I've been vibing.
Never so clearly vaguely Australian until now, though.
Fair enough.
As she ushers you over and the room begins to gather itself a bit more and people return to their conversations. Alright. You were looking for a particular flower. Is that right?
Yes.
Alright, what kind of flower are you looking for?
One sec.
It's alright. Cat's got your tongue and
Okay.
all that.
I wanted to get a flower that seems most representative of this town, Calcite.
Yeah, you're looking for a particular kind of way or just sort of in general?
Just in general?
Alright, well, I do gardening myself. We don't have any kind of flower shops or anything. It's mostly people picking what they grab. Especially in the plains, people will walk out to some of the flower fields nearby. But in terms of things that kind of represent the town, I guess, I would say the water buttercups. They actually grow on the edge of the stream. They can withstand quite a bit of force from the river. Some of the animals feed off of them as they're not too bad for the animals. I don't eat them myself, but you know, to each their own. Yeah, they're a small, pretty white flower that I'd be happy to grab some for you if you need that.
Sure, that sounds great.
Are you lot going to be staying for lunch as well?
Are we staying for lunch?
Yeah, that's
Why not?
yeah, totally. Yes, absolutely fine. You know, nothing can get quiet the mind like a full tummy.
All right. What kind of things you want then? We got lots of bass. That's the catch of the day.
Oh, fish! Delightful. Yes, please.
Yeah, we do have non-fish options if any are particularly averse to the that kind of flavor, but most of us here eat fish. We grew up on it. Mama used to joke that she would actually put in some fish oil in with my drink. I don't believe her. I was gonna say formula, but then I was like, that doesn't make any sense. In with my milk. Shannon, can you get our friends at the table? Yes. As a younger human woman will lead you over to a recently cleaned table, big enough for the group of you. As you all sit down, was there a particular kind of fish or anything you wanted? You wanted the soup, braised, cooked, baked rather?
Oh, let's see. I think that would be best. Yeah, let's go braised. That sounds good. Thank you.
All right, and the rest of you?
Fried.
Right, all right. Do you like your fish raw, Thicket?
I
I just assume with the
don't know.
being a cat and all. I can bring you a bit of both. If that's what you'd like.
Okay.
All right, I'll do that. And you other two, the quiet ones.
Can you grill it? Can you cook it over a fire?
Yeah, you can do that. Gotta cook it somehow. But it's usually the fastest way. I've had people boil it. Unless you're really going for the soup, and in which case I'd still recommend grilling it beforehand. Then you cut it up and add it to the soup. That's just me. You sir, the faunus.
Surprise me.
All right. Oh,
Boo!
special of the day then. It is run by Celine Greenborough. I believe I spelled Burrow correctly the way it is in this. Yes. Celine Greenborough. Alright, I'll be right at soon. She will disappear back into the kitchen. And then immediately return back. I'm so sorry about that. I got distracted. What kind of drink did you want?
Surprise me.
Alright. Ale it is.
Can I get an empty cup?
Okay.
A nice Pinot Grigio, please.
What's that?
I'd like.
It's a wine. You not have wine?
Celine probably knows. I don't know myself.
I have wine.
I can ask it. You said Pinot Grino.
Pinot Grigio. It's fine.
Grigio.
Don't worry about it.
No, I can ask about it. I don't mind. Oh, and you were saying eye patch.
You were saying
eye patch.
You got an eye patch and don't know your name. Sorry. Is there something else you'd rather me call you?
This is great.
Everything all right?
He's dead.
Who's eye patch?
This one with the eye patch.
I mean, perhaps EP for short.
Gambit's the eye patch. I mean, I don't know that.
Oh,
Gambit.
me? Oh.
You're the only one here with
Well,
an eye
I
patch.
forgot that I was wearing. I
The
forgot.
only person with an eye patch.
I forgot. I want water. Sorry.
All right. All good. I'll be right back. We'll disappear off.
Thicket takes the alchemy jug and sets it on the table.
I thought you were going to say set it on fire.
Why would you set the alchemy jug on fire?
I don't know.
I kind of wanted that to happen now.
It would be funny.
Add that to the list.
Well, I mean, it would be if it is. Wait, if you could summon alcohol and just like set it on fire, then you have like eternal fire.
I don't know if alcohol is on the list. I know you can summon mayo. That's the only one I consistently remember, though.
Here are your drinks. And she comes back up to the table, setting up different glasses, water and such between the different ones. And here is your white wine. She said it should suit your fancy.
Delightful. Thank you so much. White wine to be very nicely with fish. Pair people. Let them know, hey, this is a good combination.
Good to know.
They'll appreciate it. Might throw you an extra silver. But in the meantime, hit gold for trying. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I brought you the whole bottle. Got some glasses. If you don't finish it all, that's all right. Yeah. Okay, thank you again. I really appreciate it. She scurries off again.
Not a problem.
Alrighty. You see as Celine shows back up. I got you the flour. It didn't take too long to go out and find, as she will hold up a small handful of relatively small white flowers with yellow centers to them. That she, assuming you go out and look for them later, and she could describe, grow in the water, partially submerged, and looks like this. It's a water buttercup.
It's adorable.
I think it might be what you're looking for. Please enjoy. Is there anything else you all needed? You look like the adventuring type. You said you were doing something up north.
That's right. That's right. We are interested to learn about the witches of your region. We've heard tale of a great opportunity to help or something.
Seems like bad news to me. That person that went there didn't get quite what she wanted. I warn everyone about it, but still, kids will be kids occasionally. Well, not kids, we keep them from going up there, but, you know, young adults, they make their own decisions, and sometimes the bad ones. I can understand. When I was younger, someone made their own deal with the witches, and don't quite know how it ended for them. They ended up leaving, heading south toward, Cordal. Still, be careful. I wouldn't trust those witches as far as you could throw them, and I can't throw them very far, I expect. Not without having a curse set on me.
You're cursed?
No, I'm just saying. I think it would... Witch would, probably curse me before I could throw her, and then I wouldn't be able to throw her very far, so I don't trust her very far.
Oh.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Kind of an expression. Sorry.
No, it's great. It's totally fine. I get it. It's fine. So you're saying that they're not great witches, they're terrible witches. That's what you're saying.
Never seen someone get what they wanted from them. Never seen someone end up happy. People still try, though. I think they're going to be the exception.
Well, all right then. Thank you for the for your input. Is that the general consensus around here concerning those witches?
Depends on the person you ask. Some people don't even still believe they exist. Others see the magic and, well, things that can't be explained. Sometimes they go years without being heard of. That's what I've been told, at least. I've only heard of people making deals with them a handful of times, actually. I guess general consensus is, some people believe the legends, others don't. Especially among the younger folk, they see magic as a free ride to get what they want.
Yeah, that's not great.
Largely the agreement is, don't go up there, don't say the rhyme, and, well, I guess don't stand in the fairy circle, especially while you're saying the rhyme.
And why not? Do you immediately get cursed by them?
No, but apparently it's the way to make them open the path, they say. Yeah, there's a rhyme that's been passed down. People, I don't think, should continue to tell others. It's, you know, the opposite of stopping the problem. Always seems to crop up again, but apparently if you stand in the middle of a fairy circle, which is a circle of mushrooms with no mushrooms in between them, just a big exterior circle, and you say a certain rhyme, it'll open the forest and you can head right to the witches.
Well, that is interesting, but you're against that, so yeah. So you're not going to tell anyone about that, all right?
Not if I think they're going to make a deal.
No, all right. Well, we're not sure that the deal is the way to deal with them. In fact, we're of the opinion that maybe they need to be investigated.
I mean, good ever investigating you want, I suppose. I'll say if it comes of anything. Stops an investigation, then I don't see any purpose to it. Doesn't seem to get your subtext.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine. He doesn't know what to expect here. He doesn't know if they have spies. He doesn't know any of it. So Garon's just trying to be kind of like loosey-goosey with us.
Oh yeah, I guess in general, in terms of, I didn't really describe the inside. I mean, I guess I did. There's no. Yeah, I described most of the inside. I forgot that there are animal skulls spread around the different walls, trophies from different hunting, what looks to be a replica of a fish, different things around the wall as well. Setting the mood. Hi. Alright, well. If there's anything I do for you, let me know. Sounds like you might want a room. I'll keep that in mind. We got some places open. Good luck with your investigation.
Thank you so much.
If you find any wrongdoing, which I expect you will, put them down for me, will you?
Really? That you're that passionate about them? That's great. I would love to hear more about that if that's all right. Maybe later when it's not so busy.
We'll see. If you don't want the story directly from me, you can go ahead and you can ask Miss Stemma. She'll be not happy, but she'd be willing to tell you. Her and Anvir, they're a couple. They live on this side. She points off to the north side of the town in a small house. About 4 houses down the river, 2 lanes over, like the other side of the next set of the houses on the river. If you understand what I mean.
That's fine. If you maybe when you're not busy, you draw a little map, and give us the names again. It's okay.
Sure.
You're working hard. I get it. It's fine. Lunch rush. I completely understand.
Appreciate it. I'll be back with that note in a little bit, but for now I've got some other stuff to do.
Delightful. All right. Thank you so much. You have been a blessing and a help.
She will head off back to continue running the shift.
All of a sudden, Garan fights the urge to just dance in his seat and just after how much we beating around the bush we had to do with Tatsui, the fact that there's already someone here that wants to get rid of them is making Garan very happy.
The food is brought out to a variety of fish, whether it be fried in bread, braised, grilled. Thicket has both a grilled part. Basically, they took a bass and cut it in half for you. A smaller, probably a rock bass. Not a full largemouth. That might be a bit big for Thicket. But they cut a bass. It is cut in half. One side is uncooked. The opposite side has been grilled. It is served with bread. Maybe vegetables. I don't know. I didn't think that far.
How did they manage to only grill one side and leave the other uncooked? That's like a feat in and of itself.
Well, it is cut in half. It's separated sides. It's not like they did it all at once. No. It's not both sides of the same currently connected fish. No.
Gotcha.
Cut it in half, grill one
That
side,
makes more
leave
sense.
the other. How does Thicket feel about raw fish? I feel like this is an important character moment. In the same way of wondering how he feels about milk.
I totally forget if Thicket even likes milk.
I would say it's fine.
It's
only fine.
Yeah, only fine. Because, cats aren't actually supposed to eat, just fish.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
What?
No, they eat
can-
everything.
They
Cats
can
are
get,
omnivores.
mercury poisoning, just like we can.
They can get mercury poisoning, and they can actually get addicted to tuna, and it's like their heroin, and it provides little nutritional value to them, so you can't just feed them tuna.
Whoa, I
You have
didn't
to
know
give
that.
Mhm.
This is stuff y'all need to tell my wife. My wife is obsessed with cats, and if it wasn't for the allergies that me and Zoe have, she would have already had 12 of them.
They're also lactose intolerant.
Now that I do believe.
I think it may not like milk, at least not after the first couple. You're able to eat your food at your leisure. After a few minutes, she would eventually come back after the lunch rush begins to end, assuming you all stay there for that long, as it gets closer to 1:30. Shannon, the waitress, will come over. Alright, after considering all of those, in the wine, it comes out to, we'll say 2 gold for the table.
Yeah, so...
Actually, it probably ought to be a bit less than that.
No, it's fine. Before she says there's even less, Garon's already been giving her the 2, so I'll put -3 on mine.
Thank you so much. We'll make sure it all goes to good use.
The kitchen? The more food? Alright.
Yeah.
Great. Glad to hear.
And yeah, and sometimes you help make sure everyone's got everything they need in town. There's, well, I guess you don't know if you're new here. We have some, well, partially, the reason for these floating barges, is emergency escape, in case grim or anything bad, terrible happens, we can gather people on board and cut the cords and start floating downstream. So we have to make sure everything's set up right for that. Same with the other buildings that are on the water. Yeah, thank you again. We'll head off.
Absolutely. That's what he said. Karan's like, absolutely.
A few minutes go by, coming back. Alright. Well, he asked for a map. Got you some paper. As she has drawn a relatively crude map leading you off to the north side of town. Second row of houses, or rather third row of houses, effectively 4 houses down, so relatively nearby, not a very long walk. But she gives you the crudely drawn directions. Well, the people who live there, don't surprise them too much. Don't go barging in or anything, especially the older one. There's Enver. He'll probably be the one to come and get you. He's an elven man. Well, half elven.
Right. That's good.
He's he'll be the main one to talk to, at least at first, until he brings you in. Mastema, she's a human. She'll be inside, likely sitting down. I'll let them tell you any more. But they were the last ones affected by... I don't know why this vaguely Scottish accent is occasionally slipping into Southern, but we'll deal with it. They're the last ones who were affected by the witches a couple of years ago. Alright. Hope you enjoyed your meal. Let me know if you need anything. I've got some rooms open. It's certain tells me Mike's trying to remember. Is it like 5 silver per person per night at a standard inn? I don't. Sure. 5 silver per night per person. So for you 5, it'll 2 golden pieces and a half. Your adventures. Did you need me to tell Lars about you? He's the captain of the guard.
We did, in fact. We actually need to speak with him also. Thank you so much.
Alright, I'll let one of the guards know and they'll be able to get the message to you. So when you come back here at some point tonight, he'll be able to find you.
Absolutely.
Alright. She will head off from the table, leaving you to your own devices. Jocelyn died.
No.
She's back again. Just as I said it. You were left at your table. Scraps of chicken before you. Not scraps of chicken. Chicken of the sea. Except not really, because it's not tuna, it's bass. Anyway, all this to say...
It's a good time.
The world is your oyster.
So... we gotta go find that poem, right?
Yeah, the rhyme. Yeah. But I think the thing is that she's kind of saying that maybe that couple will tell us more about it. So maybe depending on how that goes. Okay. So we can go see them after lunch.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Oh, Micah, it was like we had to wait how many days? 2 days for the teleportation thing? Or 3 days?
1, 2, 3 days. 1, 2, 3.
All right. One. And then I was like, oh, wait, I forgot. Hey, help me out. And I asked if it gets help for day 2 and day 3. There we go. In case Jackie got any points. All right, sorry about that.
Oh, yes, I was not paying super close attention, but I will now. Let's see, Jackie the Jackal. Open the NPC page, make sure it's right. You get a 19 and a 15. So we'll call that 2 more points for now.
Solid.
Go up to a total of a 9. As you make your way off the water, slightly reeling for a moment as you're, well, there aren't really waves, so it won't be getting your land legs back, since you were just sitting on a river, being slightly pulled downstream against the cords at all times. But assuming you follow the instructions left for you, you would find your way to a fairly simple house. Small, well-kept. Looks to be probably 2 rooms inside, one probably more of a kitchen waiting room, the other a bedroom. At this point in time, around 1:30-ish, I would say. You don't currently see anyone outside.
All right. So the way that they are, they're like, it's similar to like maybe Passiflora Town in Ruby and Sapphire. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Where the bridges and stuff that are connecting the little.
Not beaten the majority of Ruby Sapphire, but yes, there are. Well, depends on how far on the water you are. So if you are on the water, such as the inn and other buildings, there are bridges connecting different portions. But this house that you're going to is the 3rd row of houses on land. So you are back on the shore. But yes, there are parts of the river that are populated by buildings that have bridges going between them and to the edges of the river. It is a relatively deep river. You can't easily see the bottom.
Like this?
Sure.
All right, good.
Look at that thing. Let me see your picture. Sure. Yeah, the on-river elements are kind of similar to that. More direct, less RPG shaped.
More direct.
Everything in an RPG has to get around to the front-facing, 4th wall-facing elements of the building.
Yeah, that's
that kind of stuff. But this is back on the shores, where it leads you to. As you see the building, you don't see anyone outside.
okay. Then as I'd walk up, I'd be hello. Is anyone at home?
In just a moment.
Great, thank you. Celine sent us, so we'll wait happily here.
Stepping outside after a few moments, you see a half-elven man, relatively dark but short hair, light stubble of a beard. Looks to be somewhere in his... probably, low 20s. Looks to be around the age of 20 to 25. Fairly well-built, simple clothing, wiping his hands off the towel as he steps out. Can I help you?
Yes. Thank you so much. We are the messengers. We are here to learn as much as you might be willing to tell us about the witches of the north. Now, apparently there are some reports that they are great witches, some that they are terrible witches. We are trying to do an investigation to see the best way to proceed. The way that Celine says it, she thinks that it would be great if they were removed. Is that similar to how you feel?
Insight check.
We're doing a poll now. Just asking everybody.
Thicket, save me.
Can I do an insight check too?
Sure, Thicket can. Garon gets nothing.
Are you my dad?
He looks almost mildly annoyed, perhaps. Thicket also rolls relatively low, but this guy... it's still high enough for you to be able to tell.
It's an 18!
I said relatively. For you, that's low. You're able to tell pretty easily. He seems conflicted when asked about it immediately. I guess we got what was asked for, but not necessarily the best case scenario. I don't think they're good of their own volition, at least.
How do you mean? Can you elaborate, please?
Suppose you ought to come inside.
I like it.
Sitting, looking toward the river off to the north. Assuming you come follow inside. Do you follow inside?
Oh yeah, Grun's. Again,
you would see.
He's like, oh, this guy loves me. He can't wait to tell me more things.
Off to the side of the room, there's a kitchen with some. It looks like he was doing the dishes. Sitting near a table, facing outward toward the distant hills to the north. You see an older woman. She looks roughly early to mid-60s. Her skin beginning to get more wrinkled, her hair turning a bit gray. Her arms having thinned out a bit as she looks around as you step in. She shifts. Oh, visitors. Thank you, Envir. Of course. Miss Emma, these are... We're asking about the wishes. If they're good or not. Well, I wouldn't say they're good. Technically, they gave me what I asked for. But,
What do you mean, technically?
I'm 22 years old.
Dang it, I thought finally somebody my age would be around.
Well, you've seen other people that are older in their 40s and 50s. This one is particularly notable because she's not. 22, and I am... Don't look it. Guess, I was gonna tell you the full story. Well, why do you want to know? It's not the most pleasant thing to go over. Granted, it stares me in the mirror every morning.
All right, I clearly missed it. What is it that's wrong?
She said she's 22. She looks to be in her early to mid 60s.
Oh, nice. Okay. Right. Well, hold on, wait. The husband or whatever he is, does he look young?
He looks roughly to early 20s, 20 to 25.
Okay. Right. Do you... I'm looking over at them and at the rest of the gang, the fellers, with the whole, like, should we just spill the beans?
I mean, I don't think I'm the best person to ask there.
If you're willing to make a deal, I'd be very careful with how you ask it.
We're not gonna make a deal.
What are you writing? Some kind of book?
No, we are, exterminators.
Make a persuasion check,
That
Gambit.
is a polite way to put it.
Garon looks at Gambit with like a pleasant shock face, like, huh.
Shock Pikachu face.
Yeah, like, but happy, but add happy in there, and then you have it.
Are you logged in, Gambit?
I'm not, no. I got kicked out.
Alright.
Well, earlier than usual.
Guess I'll roll it. It's persuasion. That's a 28.
Sorry, I didn't put two together.
You're good.
You were asking me to do something.
That's okay.
I should have said something earlier.
Well, 4 years ago, I was, I guess a bit over 4 years ago, got really sick. Just didn't know how to fix it. Didn't think I was going to last very long. So I went north. Heard of the witches, heard of rhymes that people had passed down that I'd heard about. Said the rhyme, went into the forest. When I got to these 3 old witches, they asked me what I wanted. I told them plainly that I wanted to be cured of my sickness and grow old with Anvir. Turns out that's the wrong way to ask. Here I am, grown old at roughly, well, we're thinking about 10 years a year. So I probably won't last many more.
Can I do maybe a history check or something else to see if I remember anything about how to undo hag curses?
Sure.
All right.
Do hags make pacts, or do they just?
Yeah, they're kind of like
this
they're
would
kind of
be
like one and dones.
You could use either nature or arcana. And anyone else who's proficient with either of those would be welcome to make the check as well.
Nature or arc.
Oh, let's go and get that back. I love it all day long. 28.
I'm equally poor in both of those.
So, technically, it depends on the nature of what the hag does. Most of the time, if she does something to someone unwillingly, it can be removed by remove curse. And some stories tell things differently. It doesn't always apply the same way. You would know most of the time the deals they make are far more into pacts than they are into curses. It's strange magic. It's typically drawn from the weird elements of the Feywild. And oftentimes, it can't be broken unless the hag chooses to break it or a wish spell is used.
Ooh, okay.
Even in some cases, there are records of hags, their spells and effects being removed by death. In other cases, they're not. The hags die and the pact holds. But you do know it's always a trade. Sometimes the hag wants to give something, take something, or have someone do something. But they always do something. They always take something in addition to their monkey paw wish.
Did you give or maybe hear something?
I was asked to leave something. I left it. I guess take something, bring something. They had me take something to the inn. Left it on one of the animals on the wall.
Really, the inn of all places.
I can't understand why, but that's what they wanted, so I did it. Worried what would happen if I don't. If it's already affecting me this way, I can only imagine what would happen if I went back on the deal.
Yeah, no, don't want to do that.
No, I don't. Anvir will set a hand on her shoulder, kind of trying to comfort her as she's sitting. You said you want to kill them? Stop this from happening again?
Yeah, I wonder if we kill him if it'll reverse your curse.
Do you think it'd also make me die of the sickness?
Oh.
That's my worry. But in time, I've only got a couple of years left anyway. Even if it ends poorly for me. At least. I know Anvir wasn't going to leave me even when I turned twice his age. Hey, Pat, sir. Only in the body, not in the mind. I heard that. Well, still, he's taking care of me. Now, it's not a pretty rhyme, necessarily. The way to get to him is the forest up north. You find a fairy circle, a collection of mushrooms in a circle. They show up at random intervals. You get lucky to find one, I guess. You stand in the circle, and you say the following. Witches 3, I call to thee. I will do you no harm. So I mark my arm. Show me no wrath, as you mark the path. And then just a small nick on your arm, whether it be with the twig, a knife, or whatever. It doesn't actually need to. I don't know why I keep slipping into the Scottish when I didn't want her to have a Scottish accent. It's more older, quieter, but not really. You know how it is. Anyway, mark your arm. Just enough to bring blood. Doesn't have to be a big cut. Just slightly. And, that's it. The trees will move and start showing you where to go. Do you think you can really kill him?
Well,
Probably.
I'm fairly certain we're ready to try, so...
I'm glad. I know there aren't many others in town that have made deals, especially not recently. But stories go back a long time of people getting the bad end of the stick. I'd rather it stop with me, nothing else. Please, if that's everything you need, I think we need a few minutes and would be best not to dwell on this much longer. Is that all?
Thank you so much for your time. We'll try to find the item that you left behind. Can you describe it again for me one more time, please?
Oh, it's a necklace.
A necklace, right?
Pretty long, kind of a black cord. There was a simple gold, like a round gold jewel, not jewel, round little gold pocket in the center that had a crystal glassy cover on the front.
Black cord, crystal glassy gold cover on the front. Right. Okay, all right. Well, thank you, and we look forward to aiding you in one way or another, hopefully mini.
Our story's already told. Or mine is, anyway. Be safe. Don't let yourselves get hurt on the way. Alright. That's looking to Gambit.
Why looking at me?
You're the one who persuaded her.
Hmm?
You're the one who persuaded her
Oh,
to talk.
yeah. Oh. Yeah, don't worry about us. We'll be fine.
Alright, and you exit the house back into the open thoroughfare of the town. Equipped with some new information. A potential method to reach the witches. You want to go another 10-15 minutes or stop there for the night? I feel like that might be a good place to stop as you...
It's a good place.
Yeah. You get some information, you can continue to prepare over the next time to potentially retrieve whatever it is she left in the inn. And head north to kill some old witches. Guess I'll do a session XP before... I'll add another tick to the sessions without combat. Like one of those like days without an accident, but instead of it actually,
Exactly. Yeah.
getting marked off every day, it goes for months.
We're close. We're
So
close. I can
close. It
feel
will happen next session if I can help it. Unless y'all decide you want to just sit and talk to people forever. Which is your prerogative if that's what you want to do. That's A-okay. Sam, roll a d10.
Boom.
Bonk. 880 XP for everyone. Bring you one step closer to your 10th level. And bonk. A single copper piece.
Oh yeah.
Can't forget your session coppers. That will end the recording side and everything for the night. Thanks for coming and hanging out. We appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye!